everybody, it's Mrs. C from the Fountaindale Public Library, and I'm here today to tell you about this really cool book that I read. And it turns out, I read it a while ago, it turns out that it is on the 2021 Bluestem list for Illinois. So it is one of the nominees, and I think it's really fantastic. It's called Finding Langston, and it is by Lesa Cline-Ransome. That's the author's name. And I gotta tell you, it's literally 100 pages long, 107 pages long. And there is such good writing and so much stuff packed into this story. I gotta tell you about it. It is, first of all, let me tell you that it is for grades 3rd through 5th. The Lexile on it is 760, so that's really perfect for that age group. And what I really liked about this is that I learned a little bit more about the Great Migration that took place, where Black Americans came from the South and moved up north. This was over many decades. The story itself that I'm talking about takes place in like 1946, when a boy named Langston, the protagonist of the story, his mother passes away. So what his father decides to do is to join a lot of people in moving up north for a better life. There's more work and there's more acceptance, to a certain extent, than there is in the South. A lot less danger in some ways. So him and his father move up north, and they really have to leave everything behind, including their grandmother and everything that Langston knows, everything he's used to. And when he gets to Chicago, it's very different. It's very difficult. They live in a very small apartment, and it's not exactly wonderful or beautiful or anything. His dad has to work really hard to earn a living. And when he goes to school, unfortunately, he has an accent, and then the kids are not very accepting, and they tease him about his clothes and his overalls, and they call him country boy. And there is a group of 3 boys that wait for him after school every day to bully him and pick on him. So what ends up happening is one day, to try to avoid the bullies, he goes through a parking lot, and there's like a hole in the fence by the school where the teachers park, and he sneaks through that, and he goes a different way home. Now, he's only been there a few weeks, and unfortunately when he does this, he ends up losing his way. And it's raining that day, and so he doesn't know which way to turn. The neighborhood is completely changed. It doesn't look anything like the apartment buildings and everything. It's single-family homes. It's very nice. And then he sees a building that says library on it. Well, he's familiar with the term library because he'd asked about it in the South when he lived there, but it's not a place where blacks were allowed to go. It was for white people only in the South. So he goes into the library, and he also has recollections of some of the things his mother told him about a library where you could get anything you want, any kind of books you want. So he goes in intending to ask directions on how to get back to where he lives, and it turns out that he's so nervous, he can't really ask. And so the librarian says, can I help you? Can I help you find some books? And he just says yes. So he ends up finding some really cool books, and on one of his visits he actually finds a Langston Hughes book, which, because his first name is Langston, catches his eye. So he reads it, and I really would like to read you the poem that he read. I'm gonna write me some music about daybreak in Alabama, and I'm gonna put the prettiest songs in it, rising out of the ground like a swamp mist and falling out of heaven like soft dew. I'm gonna put some tall, tall trees in it, and the scent of pine needles, and the smell of red clay after rain. So Langston has to stop reading after he reads this poem, because here's a line in the book that'll give you an idea of how wonderful the writing is, and it packs so much story in 100 pages. I can feel the choking in my throat that always comes before the tears. I know this feeling. I could totally relate to this. He reads these words from Langston Hughes, who's from Alabama. He feels these same emotions, and it chokes him to the point where he knows he's going to cry if he continues, so he has to stop. Well, like I said, I know that feeling, and you know how I feel about books that actually give me feels. Like, if an author can actually make me feel angry or upset or excited or happy, I'm in. So, I gotta tell you, there's a sadness in this book, right? He loses his mother. They move away from everything he loves and knows. But also, he gets to Chicago. There's this hopefulness. And there's opportunities here that he never had. He can go to the library. He can check out books. He can read. His father's not much of a reader. He discovers some secrets about his mother. I don't want to reveal too much. And I got to tell you, you got to read it. I mean, I also really like the idea. You know, I always say this. When I learn something new from just reading a good book, get super excited about it. So, I can't recommend this more. It is on the Battle of the Books book. It's going to be, it's on the Bluestem, so it is nominated for an award this year. If you can't read anything else on the list, please. Not a big commitment, 100 pages, and I guarantee it'll move you. It's such a fantastic book. Adults out there, if you're watching, please get it. Read it with your children. It's just very beautiful. And really moving, and being a person who likes to read and likes to discover new authors and new things, I felt the excitement for Langston as he discovers the library and all the things that it has to offer. So of course you could see how that would really make me super happy. So again, read Finding Langston, Battle of the Books, Bluestem this year by Lesa Cline-Ransome. If you don't like it, you come and tell me so, because I just don't believe it. Anyway, thanks for having me over. It's great to see you. Please come to the library. Find me. We'll pick some things out together. And as always, thanks I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.